It's a great privilege. Thank you, Boban, for taking the time and joining us from the International Esports Federation. I'll give you the floor, if I can use that term now, and then we'll get some questions from here, or I'll ask some as well, Boban, if that's okay. But over to you, sir.
Thank you. Now, I guess the presentation will be showed somewhere in the background. I cannot see.
Yep, we'll just do that now. There you go, you're up, Boban.
Okay, excellent. Thank you first for organizing this event and for giving us the opportunity to present the International Esports Federation. And I hope everybody will be able to come back after this brief session with in-depth detail as much as we can in the 15-minute time frame. What esports truly means and what are the benefits of hosting an esports event and what good it does to the community and to the whole ecosystem while developing it. So we can start the presentation now. Next slide, please. Yeah, so this is how ISF looks on the global scale. 127 member national federations, which in the sports world is quite a big number. As you can see, we are present in every continent, and we also have, you can see the 4 logos in the bottom, continental federations in Pan America, which is Pamesco, in Asia, which is ISA, in Europe, the European Federation, and in Asia, the Asian Esports Federation, which is also recognized by the Olympic Council of Asia. For Oceania, Esports Federation Continental, let's say, is in development because we only have 2 members there, but it's a work in progress and it's something that we are trying to make sure it happens within the next 2 years. So, next slide, please. This is the growth. ISF exists in 2008, and we have pinpointed, I hope everybody will get this presentation, we have pinpointed the major points and what we have done throughout the years, the most important one being the cooperation with WADA and ISF being the only esports entity and federation in the world that is WADA signatory and fully compliant with all the WADA requirements like testing during the events and making sure the gamers and everybody knows what it takes to be a professional athlete. Also, what is very important that we have applied for full membership in GAIFS, the Global Association of International Sport Federations, and we are full membership compliant with them. And also, we were part of the IOC Sports Liaison Group while it was functioning. We have signed many MOUs with the International School Sport Federation, with NASEF, with Women in Games. So what we are trying to do as ISF is bring as much more members of the ecosystem within our community so they can help and contribute in their own way. Next slide, please. The esports market, these are the general numbers regarding the esports market. I'm sure that all of you know and have seen them, but the numbers behind what esports is and where it's going to be are quite huge. What is important for everybody here is to differentiate what gaming is and what esports is. Gaming is when people are playing their game casually. The number of half of the world gaming also includes people playing Candy Crush on their mobile phone, but it also includes the gamers and the potential professional esports athletes, which are taking active role, practicing, being part of teams, and competing on a daily basis and preparing for some kind of international competition. The esports segment is also divided into the professional teams that you see, like Ninjas in Pajamas, like Navi, and the national federations, the teams that we represent that are representing their countries. The important statistics here is that more than 50 nations have already recognized esports as a full sport. So it's the same as in 50 countries, esports is equal to football, to basketball, and all sports known to the world. Next slide, please. This is the slide that presents the amount of money and the increase in the past years in esports, which is an important point, how well it is developed. But have in mind, this also includes the gaming sector, it also includes publishers, in-game sales. So it's not only esports and esports competition, it's the numbers of the complete gaming market. This is something that people need to understand because this cannot pass as only esports because it includes a lot of other entities that are making consistent profits within the ecosystem. Next slide. This is the growth that you can see in the audience. As you can see, the viewership is going up constantly, which I think in traditional sports it goes the other way around, and especially considering the youth. So the number of young people watching sports is decreasing, which is regular sports, while on the contrary, the number of people watching esports is increasing because it becomes more and more popular and more and more generic in the audience that is now being relevant for watching the games. Next slide, please. We can skip this one in the interest of time. So the World Championship. And also for a city to understand, and the difference between other events and ISF is that it's an all year round promotion and all year round event. It starts from January to August, where all the national federations are doing their qualifiers, and it usually has a lot of participants in it. And then we have our continentals, which are done by the continental federations, and it's the regional competitions where the top teams are selected to go on the World Championship. And each and every country has a right to send a representative to the World Championship. So we're not capping it like some countries cannot participate. So for example, this year, because some countries entered late, we will have 120 countries and approximately 1,000 players in Bali, in Indonesia, from all over the world and from all the continents, which also will be a huge landmark achievement for esports. And we are hoping the Guinness Book of Records will be there to make a note of this as the largest international offline esports event. Next slide. And these are the number of participating countries per year that we had since 2008, 2009, when it was the first official competition of ISF. And you can see the number growing. And as we are currently opening the bid for 24 and 25, the number of countries that will be present will rise to 150, considering our expansion plan and our development plan for the countries that don't already have national federations, because we are supporting them also in education and helping them set up properly the national federation. Next slide. These are the most important cities that used to host our event. You can see that the last one we did was in Eilat in Israel last year. We did Korea, we did Chinese Taipei. Korea as our host city was the most frequent event, but we also did Baku, we did Budapest. So we are doing a lot of cities throughout the world, and hopefully this year we will be able to sign 24 to do it in a continent that we never were, like the Americas or even maybe Oceania. Next slide, please. I already went briefly to the Bali Championship. It's happening in Bali from the 1st to 12th of November. This is the first time actually we're doing a 12 days competition, because we want every country to participate, and we want to stream every match, to broadcast it, to get more audiences and get more people familiar with what we are doing. We have already started the national qualifiers in most countries. Regionals are being held for Europe as we speak now in Romania. So we are doing a lot of offline engagement, and in the whole process, it's more than 1 million players that participate in the event in order to get the 1,000 top of the top, representing their nations, of course, not the professional players, to go to Bali and defend their nation's colors. Next slide, please. As you can see, every year, what we are trying to do from now on, we are doing it starting in this year, is we are providing a unique feature, a unique signature for the World Championship to be able to be a remarkable event that will happen in the city. We have the same plan for 23 and for 24. As you can see, exotic location. We have educational workshop, custom made only for this year, visual elements and entertainment from the local culture to present it to the world. We will have esports summits there where people will discuss most important topics. First time we are organizing female competition for Counter-Strike. We have 6 game titles and divided 2 for PC, 2 for consoles, and 2 for mobile phones, and 120 national teams. So as we progress in the years, this unique marks will be changing and adapting, and of course growing, and it will represent the whole city in the best light possible. Next slide, please. These are our numbers. The numbers are solid. They're not, as the professional teams, we're not focusing on the numbers so much because we're more focusing on the value that we are creating for the national federations and for developing the ecosystem the proper way. Because as you know, everybody can throw money on social media numbers, boosting posts or getting, viewing bots to watch your games and get increased numbers. But our main focus is to support the national federation, support and develop the ecosystem in a proper way. Next slide. These are the key benefits for the host city, what it means to host an esport events. So besides the influx in tourism, what we are doing now, and it will be available, we have done a professional research paper, academic paper on economic impact of hosting an esports event, which will be available after June 27th, and I'll make sure that Major Events International distributes it to you once it becomes public, to see the numbers behind what we are saying, that long-term there is a huge impact for the city when organizing an event of this size. Besides bringing 1,000 players from 120 different nations and cultures to an event, it means a lot for the youth within the city. It helps the local companies to promote their services outside. It brings the attention of the esports world and the community to the city and to the country, which is a rare opportunity considering the age span of our athletes and our members and the value that it brings. Not just to remind you that we're talking about 50 countries where esports is recognized, so those are really official government-supported teams coming to the event. Also, education is promoted. Education is always part of our events. Referee certification is very important because referees are very important for the integrity of the events. We're always doing WADA testings, and as from this year, we'll most probably start WADA education to educate the gamers in a language they'll understand, in a simplified way, what doping is in esports, not just what doping is in physical sports. So I think I was time efficient. Thank you everybody for your time. If there is time for any questions, or if there are any questions, I will be more than happy to answer them.
As always, the clarity was fantastic. I'm only sitting at the front because apparently I've got to be seen for the online people to ask. Are there any quick questions for Boban? I know it's extra. Yes, there is a question there. We'll hand the microphone over.
For me, it wasn't completely clear if it's also open for public or if it's more an event that all your invitees come, but no guests from outside, I would say.
Boban?
I only heard part of the questions.
Okay,
Public outside.
are people, not non-competitors, able to attend your events as
Oh, yes.
fans, I guess, yes?
Yes, there is an audience space. This year it will be capped to 5,000. But next year we are trying to find a bigger place where we can find people because Bali is a bit, far in the world. It is hard for everybody to come. But next year in Romania, it's in the center of the world, so everybody can virtually, easily and cheap come to Romania and take part in our competition. So it's open for everybody.
Thanks, Boban. Other questions from the floor? Yes, there is a question. Just one more.
Yes, thank you, Boban, for the presentation. The question is the titles that you choose. How exactly are they chosen? I mean, it's the 6 games, and how does it translate into, let's say, longevity for federations or host countries to promote a grassroots program in these? Now, do they change regularly or not?
We are not changing them too regularly, but we are adjusting because every year before we talk to the publishers and sign the contracts to be able to organize the event, we are doing a survey among all our members which titles are most popular in their region. And now considering that what's popular in North America is not necessarily popular in South America, in Europe, in Africa, Middle East, Southeast Asia, each region has a different country, different title that is most popular. So we are trying to accommodate as much as possible to every country and to every region in general. And we are hoping that within 3 years we will have more than 10 titles in our World Championship and make sure that every region has their top players in their top title representing their country.
Question. Which are the current 6 game titles and for how long are they secured?
We are signing the deals year by year, but this year we are already signing the next ones. It's Counter-Strike and Dota 2 for PC. It's eFootball and Tekken for console. It's PUBG Mobile and Mobile Legends Big Bang for mobile.
Thank you.
We have time, if needed, for one more question. No? Well, Boban, that was a very comprehensive overview. Just to clarify, there are 2 esports federations. As Boban knows, we made a decision as MEI. We were delighted to be honoured to work with the International Esports Federation. Vlad, the president, and Boban, they're a great senior leadership team. They've got big visions, big ambitions, and they deliver on those ambitions. So we're very proud of that relationship. So obviously, Boban, we're very sad that you can't be with us today for the reasons we understand. So if you have any immediate questions, we'll make sure, follow-up questions, we'll make sure you get connected to Boban, or we can certainly, answer some first questions for you and then follow up. But Boban, as always, we're under a hell of a lot of time pressure, so I'll just say we'll give Boban a clap and say thank you very much indeed.